Hello and welcome back to SMLtags. The next couple of videos are going to focus on the emergency medical service login and how it works. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get set up as a first responder to get yourself an account so that you can access patient data in an emergency. And in the next video, we'll go through how to actually access patient data once you've got your account all set up and verified. So, as I said, in this video, we're going to go through the account setup process. It's a little bit different from a normal account, mostly because we want to make sure that the data that people put in, their personal health information, is private and secure and safe. And so one of the ways that we do that is we make sure that any first responder who wants to access that data has a verified credential. We have the ability to verify credentials in all 50 states as well as the District of Columbia. We also have access to the National Registry of EMTs, so the NREMT, where we can also verify that data. So, and we'll go through that here in a minute. Now, if you're not an EMS person, you may be wondering why you should watch this video. Well, the answer is it's good for you to know how your data is being stored and how it's being accessed by first responders in an emergency. And so watching this, it might be a little boring for you. You may not ever use it, but just being able to know kind of how the system works on that end could certainly help to give you some peace of mind to know that your data really is safe and secure. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is this is the SMLtags website. So it's just www.smltags.com. And at the top, just like for a normal account where you would tap My SMLtags, for EMS, we're going to tap SMLtags EMS. And that will take us to the EMS website. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just tap away from this message. Feel free to read that message. We actually offer some nice perks to our EMS who sign up. One of them is that as long as you maintain a credential, in other words, as long as you maintain a verified credential in our system, you are entitled to a free premium account. That's a thank you to our EMS. And to help you to understand the system better too, by being able to have your own account at no charge to you. So make sure that you take advantage of that. We definitely, we want everybody to have an SMLtags account because the more people that have it, the more likely it is to, be able to do its job in an emergency situation. Okay, so we've come to the SMLtags EMS, and the difference you can tell when you come to the login screen is it does show SMLtags EMS and it says First Responder Access. This is different from the normal way that you would log in that just shows SMLtags. One other thing to keep in mind is, as a first responder, you can have both a first responder account, which lets you access patient data in an emergency, like we're going to show you, and you can also have your own personal account, and they can be under the same email address. So just depending on which side you log into, whether it's the EMS side or your personal side, you'll still be able to log in. And the login, if you do use the same email address, it's the same account, so it's the same password too. So you don't have to remember two different passwords for SMLtags if you have both of those accounts, both an EMS account and a personal account. Okay, So what we're going to do is under EMS to get started, because we don't have an account, is we are going to tap on register down at the bottom. And this is going to ask a few questions. It's a little bit different from setting up a personal account. The first thing it's going to ask, obviously, is for your full name. Now, we highly recommend that you put in here the name that is on your EMS credential. So whether that's the NREMT or a state license or whatever, make sure that it matches, because that's part of the way that we are going to look you up to verify your information. So in this case, our first responder who's going to sign up is going to be named, how about Stephanie? We're going to name her Stephanie Jones. Okay, so Stephanie Jones, and Stephanie's email address, I'm going to put that in as, actually what I'm going to do, because this is a demo account, I'm going to call that test EMS at SMLtags.com. Don't try to send anything to this email address. It won't work. It's just for testing. Okay, so test EMS at SMLtags.com. Obviously put in your correct email address. Make sure it's one that you watch, one that you actually actively use, because any issues or account updates or anything like that will come to that email address. And then we're gonna put in a password, and I'm gonna do this part off camera just very quickly. Okay, we're back. I've put in a password, confirmed it. You'll notice that just like with a personal account, we have the requirements for the password. The password that I entered meets all of those requirements. Make sure you meet those requirements. Also, as I said in the video where we talked about setting up your personal account, use a password that you don't use anywhere else. That's just good practice in general to not repeat passwords. That way, because what can happen is, our system is secure, but if you use that password with let's say a social media account or something else, then what could happen is if they have a data breach and a password is associated with your email address and they try it on smltags.com and you're using the same one, it'll work, and there's nothing we can do about that. That's something that you just have to be diligent about, unfortunately, kind of in today's environment. Anyway, we've put in the password twice, so we're good there. And you'll notice down here at the bottom, this purple box says "Have your credential ready." So what we're going to ask you to do when you set up your account is to actually take a picture or upload a picture of your credential. We will need that to be able to verify you against the database of either your state or the National Registry, to make sure that you have that you have a valid credential, because that's a requirement for being able to access patient data. So obviously there's two ways you can do that. You can just take a picture, or if you've already got a screenshot of a digital credential, you'll be able to upload that. And then there's a couple of other things. Make sure that you agree to the terms and conditions. Go ahead and tap on that if you haven't looked through it. It's a good thing to look through it, because those terms and conditions, they protect everybody involved. They protect you. They protect the patients that you may be dealing with. They make sure that everybody is operating under the same understanding. Also, the privacy policy and the health information privacy notice. One of the things that we ask you to additionally kind of certify as you're doing this is that you will only access patient data as part of your professional duties. We take this very, very seriously, and the way that it works is whenever you access patient data through your account, the patient whose data you are accessing will receive a notification that says your information was accessed at this time in this place by this person. Now, generally speaking, that's just a security notification, so that if they look at that and say, but I wasn't in an accident or I didn't have an emergency, then they can contact us through that notification and say, hey, somebody accessed my data and I wasn't, they shouldn't have. And then we can investigate that. And the investigation generally will be us actually reaching out to you to get your side of the story. We may work with local authorities as well if we need to really investigate this, because like I said, we take this very, very seriously. We want to make sure that our patients feel secure in including their data there. They know that it's not going to be accessed by anyone in an unauthorized way. And the other side is it protects you, because, like I said, when you access it, one of the things that you are able to do afterward is kind of like the reports that you may have to write in your normal duties. Is you can actually put notes in there that say, here was the situation, here's what I did, and that helps to protect you too, to make sure that everybody is as protected as they possibly can be. We don't expect there to be, and to this point, and we don't expect there to be abuses of this. Obviously, EMS know their job. They know how patient privacy works, and they know that is one of those things that is very strictly controlled. So we don't expect there to be a problem there, but we want to make sure that we have protocols in place just in case. Okay, so now I'm going to come through and I'm going to go ahead and tap these and say, yes, I acknowledge all these things, I agree to these things, and then I'm going to tap register. Now, just like with setting up an account for yourself, for your own personal account, we do send an email verification. So the next thing you'll need to do is to check your email and tap on the confirmation link that's there. I'm going to do that off camera, and then I will come right back and we will go ahead and log in for the first time. Okay, we're back. So we got the email, and when we tapped on the link, if you do it on the same device that you registered on, then it will take you to your account and log you in automatically the first time. If you do it on a different device, then you'll need to go back to the sign-in screen and sign in. But once you're signed in, that's where we're at right now. The very first thing it will do is ask you to complete your registration. And the first thing that we need to do is we need you to upload your credential. Now, as I said, we can do the National Registry, the NREMT, and we also have access to most state databases. Now, I say most because there are actually 4 states that make this a little bit more difficult. Most states have a way for us to verify credentials without having to talk to anyone. We can just get into their system and we can verify your credentials, and then we're done. But certain states, North Carolina is one, North Dakota is one, West Virginia is one, Oklahoma makes it a little bit hard, and then New York is the hardest, to be honest. In New York State, your credential can take up to 4 weeks for us to verify, because we have to fill out a form and you have to sign it to allow us to look up your credential. So if you're in one of these states, it will notify you, and we highly, highly recommend, if you have the National Registry credential, that you upload that one in addition to or instead of your state credential, because it will speed up this process by a lot. But like I said, most other states, the other 46 states in the U.S., do make it very easy for us to verify your credentials, and we will usually have your credentials verified within 1 business day of you registering. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it with the NREMT, but if you choose a state license, then you can choose your state. And obviously every state is listed in here, as well as DC. Let me come back up. You should see. Oh, actually, it's probably at the bottom. Yeah, DC. It's down here at the bottom. So it's also available. Um, and if I go to New York, I just want to show you this. So if I choose New York, you can see that it warns you about that. It says there's a manual verification required. The state of New York requires us to submit a completed and signed verification. Basically, it kind of warns you about that, and it does recommend in here. So you don't have to remember which states are like this, but if you choose your state, it will tell you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back to the NREMT. That's the one we're going to use. Now, this is all going to be fake data. I'm not, we're not going to use a real, EMT license or anything like that. But so I'm just going to put in here. But what you'll need to do is you'll need to put in your EMT license, and I'm just going to put it as test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then it'll ask you for your classification, and you can choose what classification you have. We tried to take in all of the possibilities from all the various states. If you don't see yours listed, feel free to choose other, and then you can contact us. Or when we look at your credential, we'll see that there's something else that isn't in the list, and we can update that. But for right now, I'm going to say that I am an EMT. Okay. And then the next thing it's going to ask you is for your expiration date. We use this to verify. If you get this wrong, it isn't that big of a deal. We can correct it when we verify your credential, and we'll put a note in there that we corrected it based on the data that we received from either the National Registry or the state. And this defaults to a year out. I think a lot of places do 2 years. Some places do other time frames. I'm just going to go ahead and accept this, that it's going to expire in a year. One of the other nice things about this is that you will start to get warnings about 90 days before your credential expires that you need to either upload a new credential for us to validate, or you need to go renew it. So that's just another added thing. You'll get an email that says, hey, your credential expires in 90 days. Just wanted to let you know. And then I think you get another one at 60 and then at 30 days and so forth. Okay, so then what you do is you take a picture. Now, I don't have a credential, so I'm not going to take a picture of one. But what I am going to do, I do have a kind of a fake one that, again, this is just a test account. This is just to show the process. Obviously, please upload your authentic credential that we will verify against the state or national databases. So I'm going to, I'm just going to pull this out of my photos. Okay, so I've uploaded my credential. We prefer a photo of your physical card, but if all you have is a digital credential, I know not all states give you a physical card. That's okay. We need a clear screenshot of your digital credential as an alternative. And when I say clear, it needs to be legible. We need to be able to read it because we're going to verify your data against that. Anyway, so then the way that works is as soon as we, I'm going to go ahead and hit add credential. As soon as we do that, then it will send all this to our admins. They will manually verify your credential in whatever way they have to. And then once you have a verified credential, then you'll be able to have access to the complete system. If there are any problems, you will get an email from us explaining what the problem is and working with you to get some kind of a resolution to that problem. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tap Add Credential. And now we're in the system. What I'm going to do, the first thing it does is it offers you to preview a patient record. I'm going to skip that for now, but obviously please feel free to take a look at that because it just gives you an idea of what you'll see when you scan an SML tag in the field. But right now I'm going to tap Not Now. In fact, I'm going to say Don't Show This Again. Actually, no, I'll leave that. I'll leave that so that when we do go in and I show you how to actually do this, we can actually demonstrate that. So for now, I'm just going to say Not Now. Okay, and we are now in the SMLtags EMS system. You'll notice that there's a big blue box that says your verification is pending. Until you have at least one verified credential, you'll see that box. And actually, you won't be able to access anything else until you do that. You can see that once we get this done, you'll be able to scan an SML tag, an NFC tag, to access the patient data. And of course, down at the bottom, it gives you some information, who you are and what your current status is. And this will change to a green verified once we've verified that. So what I'm going to do is, off camera real quick, I am going to go verify this credential so that we can move on to the next part. All right, Stephanie's credential has been verified. Now, one part of the verification process is you'll get an email with a discount code. Once your credential is verified, you'll receive a discount code for a free premium license to have your own personal account that is good for as long as you maintain a verified credential in the system. All right, so at this point we've verified that. If I hit refresh, then you'll see, oh, I need to say Not Now. Okay, then you'll see that the blue box has gone away. So now we have a verified credential, and that's what I was talking about. The status is now verified. So at this point, you are ready to access patient data. And what we're going to do is we're going to stop it here, and we will create another video that will walk through how to access patient data, what information you'll see, and so forth. So we will do that in another video. We really appreciate you sticking through this one. Please contact us if you have any questions, support@smltags.com. We are very grateful for our EMS people. We're grateful for our first responders. You do work that is not given enough exposure and not given enough gratitude. And so we want to say thank you from the SMLtags team. We really, we see you and we are grateful for the work that you do. As I said, please let us know if you have any issues, support@smltags.com, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you.